Welcome, I'm your host Outlaw0420 Priest of Azura, and this is Settled System Surveys. This is going to be a full video on Tirna VIII-c, everything that you'll need to know that I couldn't put into a short. These videos will come out periodically whenever I have to do a planet that has a large amount of fauna and flora that you need to scan to complete a survey. So as stated before, we are doing Tirna VIII-c. It's a rock type planet with 0.57 G gravity. The temperature is temperate. Atmosphere is thin M. Magnetosphere is weak. Fauna, you'll need 5 to scan. Flora, you'll need 5 to scan, and the water is radioactive. As for resources, there are 8 resources: water, iron, lead, alkanes, tungsten, tantalum, titanium, dysprosium. The planet also has 2 traits, which we'll show later on in the video. The first trait is the amphibious thicket, which you will have to scan the remnants of the amphibious life forms. The shallow marine waters barely cover the ground, allowing territory to semi-aquatic life. And our last trait for this planet is sentient microbial colony, which you'll have to scan the microbial community. Tendrils filter through the air and ground for nutrients and relay sensory information to the microbial colony. Now that we've gone through that, we will go through the different fauna and flora that you will need to complete this survey. My recommendation to you is in the science tree to completely upgrade. If you're looking to be a person who goes out and completes surveys, scanning, this allows you, once you get it maxed out, of course, you can detect unique inorganic resources on a planet and moon surface and gain a complete list of cargo on ships. This really helps you out finding where certain materials are that you'll need. Surveying, of course, is another one that you will need to max out, because it will give you a distance of 50 meters when you're scanning. It gives you another zoom level as well, so it makes it easier to find. Some of the animals that I'll be doing on this video I will be zooming into because they are hostile to you. Of course, zoology makes it easier to scan animals. You'll need a smaller amount of animals scanned. And on the opposite side, of course, is botany, which will do the same, but for plants. The last skill I recommend to max out is astrometrics. And the reason for that is once you max it out, you can scan any planet or moon within 30 light years of yourself. So basically any planet in the entire system, just be in the center of the map and you can scan every single planet in every single system. But the other thing, and the big thing, is that you have a 50% chance to discover a trait when scanning, which really helps you speed along your surveys. And our first fauna that we're going to be looking at is the hoarding blister scab glazer. Its temperament is defensive, meaning it won't attack you, but if you get too near it, it may attack. The resource that it drops is lubricant. The biomes that you can find it in is savanna and mountain hills. It has 590 health. It has the ability extra health, and if you do max out its scan, you can have it in an outpost. Our next fauna is the flocking crab filter. Its temperament is wary, meaning it may attack or it may not, but it'll mostly run away from you. The resource that it drops is pigment. Non-lethal harvest, meaning you can go up to it and collect the resource without killing it. The biomes that it's found is in savanna, mountains, and hills. Health is 120, and if you complete the scan, you can have it at your outpost. Our next fauna is the Space Roach Herbivore. Temperament peaceful. Resource is metabolic agent. Biomes that it can be found in is freezing hills, savanna, mountains, and hills. Health is 20, and if you scan it completely, it is part of outpost production. And our last fauna in this biome that we can find is the swarming crab. Temperament defensive. Resource antimicrobial, non-lethal harvest. Biomes that it can be found in is savanna, mountains, and hills. Health is 1350, although this one is a legendary effect, so the health may vary. Resistances, blast damage, physical damage, abilities, range, mouth attack. Outpost production is allowed if you get this completed 100%. And the last fauna that you can find on Tirna VIII-c is the pack unishark. Temperament is defensive, resource is sealant, non-lethal harvest is capable. You can only find it in ocean and swamp biomes. Health is 450. You do have to land in a swamp coast biome to find this certain fauna. Our first flora that you need to find is Orna Golden Glow. Resources structural. Biomes that you can find it in is swamp, savanna, mountains, hills. Genetics standing, helix, methane based. Its reproduction is self-cloning. Our next flora is the Warren Neelit. Resources fiber. Biomes that it can be found in are swamp, savanna, mountain, hills. Genetics is standard, helix, methane based. Reproduction is flowering. This, once is completed scanning, can be produced at an outpost. Requires water. Belana bush is our next fauna. Flora. Sealant is the resource. Biomes is swamp, savanna, mountains, hills. Genetic is standard, helix, methane based. Reproduction is spores. Once 100% scanned, you can produce this at an outpost. Requires input water. The next flora is the broken heart vine. The resource is toxin. Biomes are swamp, savanna, mountains, hills. Genetics standard, helix, methane based. Reproduction self-cloning. And the last flora that you need is the fallen star palm. Resources nutrients. Biome is swamp, savanna, mountains, and hills. Genetics is standard, helix, methane base. Reproduction complex. And that does it for this survey. Hopefully this helps you out to complete your survey of Tirna VIII-c. One of the best planets that you can make an outpost on to gather the most resources in one spot. If you are looking for a quick and dirty version of this, I did make a short that you can look at. I'll put a link to it in the description down below if all you want is the short. And as always, my friends, remember, someone out there appreciates you because I appreciate you. May Zora's glow guide you ever warmly. Bye.